Hi parents, I'm Stacy Wright with Perspective Center for Holistic Therapy, and I'm here today in my backyard coming to you with a parenting technique that I'm hoping will help you bring some new perspective and understanding to your kids and to yourself, and hopefully strengthen your relationship. Today what I want to talk about is called reflective responding, and you might have heard it also called reflective listening. And it's really a technique that's not just for using with kids. You can use it to apply to any relationship to sort of give you new insight into what the other person is thinking, what they're feeling, just what their inner world is altogether. So I want to preface this by saying it's something that you don't do all the time with your kids, especially with kids, because as parents we do have to provide direction, we do have to set limits, and our kids are looking for us to do that. So this is really just something to use in special moments, special playtimes that you might have together, or when you're trying to sort of break those old patterns of interacting that we fall into with everyone. We have certain, they say this, we do that. They do this behavior, we respond with this behavior. So it's a way to kind of shake that up and try to get some insight into really a better way of interacting and understanding each other. So again, the goal here is to sort of increase our understanding of our kids and of each other, and to see them in a new perspective. So there are really three things we want to do here. First is just to set aside some time, whatever you have. I know it's challenging being at home, so if you got 5 minutes, great. If it's less than that, fine. If you want to knock it out of the park and do even more, good for you. But just take a little bit of time where you're focused on your child or one of your children, and you're going to kind of, during that time, just sort of let them take the lead, let them decide what you're going to do. And the first time they might not even quite know what to do, if they're not used to sort of that sense of kind of being able to tell mom or dad what direction you want to go in. So that's the first thing, just taking the time and having in your mind that you're going to take a back seat a little bit and let them take the lead. So second to that, second rule is no judgments. So in talking about judgments, that might mean positive judgments or negative judgments. And sometimes our kids are seeking our approval. They want to please us. So a judgment statement might be anything from like, I love how you colored that tree, to I don't think the grass should be pink. And those are, that's one positive and one negative. But we want to pause before we instinctively say that, and just turn it into a statement, just to say, oh, I see you really are thinking about what color you want to pick. Or, oh, you're really happy with how that tree turned out. And of course, these are just a couple of examples. And let's see, our third thing here is, so we have our time, we have no judgments, and the third one sounds a bit counterintuitive, but no questions. So naturally, our kids sometimes are asking for us, wanting us to tell them what to do, seeking our approval. But if you think about it, most of the time you can turn a question into a statement fairly easily by just adding, I notice or I wonder to the beginning of that. And the reason we're going to avoid questions is because the question sort of is a leading, it leads the child, or leads whoever you're asking, to where the conversation should go, or to where you want to direct the action. So for example, instead of saying, are you upset right now? So we're kind of stopping them, putting the focus on what we want to know, and kind of putting this binary in their mind. Oh, I've got to give a response now. And based on your past interactions, there might be some bias involved there. Your kid might feel like, oh, well, I need to say this or I need to say that, to make mom happy, or to tell them what they want to hear. Of course, your children the best, but we just want to kind of remove that leadership piece of the kid kind of turning to us to ask what we should do next. So yeah, just turn it into a statement if you can. It takes a little practice, or just, come just flat out say what you're thinking, like, you're really upset right now. And just leave it at that, and they'll correct you if you're wrong. But what that shows, making the statement, shows that I'm really paying attention to you, and I care what's going on with you, and I understand. And then we're, again, just let them kind of continue and follow. So to wrap that up, again, this is called reflective responding, and I kind of challenge you in this next week to use it once or twice, even if it's just, short bursts of attention with your child, to where we make the time, we suspend our judgments, good or bad, and we don't ask questions. And we just kind of see how their little minds are working and where that goes. I hope to see you next time, and I'm curious to see how this all goes for you. Take care. Bye.